afternoon to you and welcome to Press Issues. Coming up, second-year SHS students are to remain on the double track. Cocoa farmers are worse off under your tenure. NDC response to Nana Akufo-Addo. My name is Stacy Ankrah. Now, the news in details. The government has announced that the second-year senior high school students will remain on the double-track system beginning next academic semester in September 2019. The government has announced that the second-year senior high school students will remain on the double-track system when the next academic year begins in September this year. The announcement follows the delay in the execution of the additional projects being embarked on by schools operating the double-track system in the country. The Minister of Education, Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, who announced this when the ministry took its turn to meet the press series in Accra on Wednesday, July 22, 2019. The government earlier this year released 5 million cedis from the securitization of the Ghana Education Trust Fund for the completion of abandoned infrastructure and the construction of new structures in the double-track schools. About 766 abandoned and new structures were to be completed across the country, especially in schools running the double-track system, to provide enough classrooms to phase out the system for second-year students from September this year. To other stories, the opposition party, National Democratic Congress, has said cocoa farmers are experiencing the most terrible time during the Nana Akufo-Addo administration. The opposition party, National Democratic Congress, has said cocoa farmers are experiencing the most terrible time under the Akufo-Addo administration. At a press conference to respond to a challenge thrown out by the president, the NDC said, as far as cocoa sector is concerned, the Akufo-Addo administration has no credible record to even merit any comparison with the legacy of President Mahama and the NDC. President Akufo-Addo spoke at a deba at the Wassa East District capital, Dabwase, where he said former President Mahama squandered the gains achieved under his predecessor and former boss, the late John Evans Atta Mills. He said, "We are challenging them to come and tell us what they have done to boost cocoa production." He charged as election 2020 approaches. "I can tell you in advance what they have done," the president said. Other stories. Members of the National Democratic Congress, NDC, friends, family members and sympathizers gathered at the Asumje Park on Wednesday to mark the 7th anniversary of the passing president, Professor John Evans Atta Mills. Members of the National Democratic Congress, NDC, friends, family members and sympathizers gathered in Accra on Wednesday to mark the 70th anniversary of the passing of the late former president, Professor John Evans Fifi Atta Mills. As part of the activities marking the anniversary, the leadership NDC converged at the Asumje Park, his burial place near the Osu Castle, to lay wreaths in his honor. Where we'll end today's episode of Press Issues. But before that, a recap of the top stories. Court grants NAM1 billion Ghana Cedis bill. Cocoa farmers are worse off under your tenure. NDC response to Nana Akufo-Addo. Second-year SHS students are to remain on the double-track system. My name once again is Stacy Ankrah.